existing coop here. This houses 12 chickens. Now, these two were actually mine. I sold them to this client before I moved to Dubai. But we're back, and these chickens are still producing a ton of eggs. They're white leghorns, very reliable. They can produce 300 eggs a year. That's phenomenal. But we're still gonna upgrade this coop quite a bit. So we do have an existing issue. These boards are pretty rough. I mean, they've totally, well, not totally, but mostly at the fringes deteriorated. We're gonna be replacing them and then putting metal on top. Now, what else are we gonna do to enhance this? How much can this really be automated? Well, a lot. We've already got an automatic door. There's a solar panel which charges the door via USB-C. Very simple, very easy, took 10 minutes to install. Now, we're also gonna be putting a 50-gallon black barrel cistern here, which will capture water from the roof and supply enough water for the chickens for the majority of the year. This area gets over 40 inches of rainfall per year, and that will be more than enough based on this square footage to fill up the rain barrel for the chickens. So we're going to put it right here, connect a hose to the barrel to an automatic dispenser, a single bucket, so multiple chickens can drink at the same time. And if we raise the barrel and then also the dispenser, the pressure of the water will equalize so that the level will always be the same. But that includes another automatic feature, an autofill valve. So when the water reaches a certain level in the dispenser, it automatically blocks water flow. So you don't have too much or a leakage. That's critical in the automation of this system. How else are we going to automate it? Well, right here, along the sunny part, we're going to be putting in some covered sections of the ground. Why? We're going to put clover and other vegetables and plants that the birds can eat, but they won't actually remove the entire plant. That creates a supplemental feed. So if there's ever a lapse in the feed or they want to supplement their food with variety, they now have more options. We can even supplement that by putting some foods outside, which will climb inside. So what else can we do? One, solar panel on top or somewhere here, and connect it to a fan to help create ventilation inside. So noxious fecal fumes escape and fresh air enters. Two, a red light so that it simulates warmth and the sun. So in the winter, they'll actually lay more eggs, especially when you're getting less food from your garden. That creates long-term resiliency and higher value and higher yields. That's all about the ROI, return on investment. Very important at Eden and Dane that we focus on the ROI. How else can we automate this? I'm so glad you asked. So, when you have 12 chickens, you want to make sure they're getting water, food, and they have constant security. So we've already gone through and patched and enhanced all of this to make sure that there's no predator problems anymore. We've already done that. But we're going to make this even better. We're going to improve the door, and we're also going to be adding an automated feeder. So you can put an entire 50-pound bag of feed in at the same time. The chickens can reach in, get the food. Because if we look at the current system, if we look inside, we can see all the chickens as they're growing. Some of them are mature, the 3 I used to have, and then some of them are still growing to that laying age. But they all eat from the same system. So this requires labor. You have to open the top, you have to pour food in, and that's fine, but it's not ideal. It could be done faster, more reliably, and with more cleanliness. So we have water there, that's fine, but then you have to go in there, you have to breathe the fumes. There's also not enough litter in here. If we add to that, then we can easily create what's called a deep mulch, which creates very rich compost over time. Then we can extract it easily here, put it in a wheelbarrow, dump it into the run or into the garden or into a vermiculture setup and get even richer soil. So this is so right for a closed loop system. This is another hugely valuable facet of the entire property. One of the major values of chickens is not the eggs, because oftentimes that's equivalent to the cost of the food that you have to feed them. It's also that needs to be fixed as well. But it's also what do you get from the chickens, because these girls are not being brought up to the garden. That wouldn't be an ideal situation with the pea gravel. So what are we going to do with them? Use the soil and the litter. That way we get the nutrients, we get the compostable soil and the litter, and we can really benefit from that. Right now, we're not maximizing the value because they're all contained in the run. This is a spacious run. It's excellent for their habitat. We can make it even more valuable. So let's recap. 1, the water will be automated with enough water to always give them a constant supply of fresh water. 2, the food, we're going to make this a system so 12 hens can reliably get food even if there's a lapse in the actual coverage inside. Number 3, we're going to add autonomous food systems that supplement their food and give them more variety and protein from plants like clover. 3rd, or really 4th, we're going to be improving the long-term conditions with a fan, with a red light, so there's better quality of life and there's better laying conditions year-round to get more production. And then number 5, we're going to be making sure that this is as high quality and predator-proof as possible so there are no mishaps or more lost chickens. So with all of that, we have a really good opportunity to make this a turnkey operation. And with 12 chickens, they can produce a lot of eggs. Rough math here, these girls can produce about 1,200 to about 1,800 eggs a year. That's over 100 dozen a year. So if you were to sell them as farm-raised eggs, you'd be looking at maybe $5 to $6 per. So you could make thousands of dollars from that. And if you can increase their food to be basically cost neutral, then you don't have to pay for that. And you might even make a profit from these eggs. That's part of the value we look at a long-term solution.